up, everyone, and welcome to season 4, episode 17 of Girl You Know What podcast. I am Danielle.
And I'm Keisha.
And okay, so we got a
You
good
said
one.
Danielle, and it threw me off.
I know.
I started looking around like, where are we at?
Like, who's that? Girl, because listen, I have been trying to get used to saying that. Last week, I caught myself jumbling up. I almost said Tahir, but I was like, no, we're going to just use that specifically for writing. And so I caught myself last week, but I was about to edit it out, and be like, because I was a little jump, but I was like, whatever, we just keep
No. It's fine, but it kind of caught me like, what?
Yeah. So, I mean, you've been so used to hearing the other name for so long. Yeah, I get it.
Right.
Yeah. Child, so how was your week?
Crazy, but calm.
Oh, well, that's good.
I'm always calm.
Yeah, you gotta
be crazy.
Yeah, you gotta stay calm because if not,
you have to.
Then you gonna go crazy. So yeah.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah. Whew, so okay, so we.
And how about you? Wait.
Oh no,
let's not skip over you.
Oh well, I mean it was cool. It was busy, with work and everything. I did finally record the true crime podcast. So I finally got that recorded. It's edited. I may release it. I don't know if I'm gonna release it before this gets released or after, but it'll be, this week for sure.
This week. Well, that's good.
Yeah, because it's ready to go. And then I'll be recording the DannieBSpeaks podcast too. I'll be doing that.
Okay, good.
Yeah, so finally trying to get back into the swing of things. So
that's good.
Girl, work is kicking my ass, but hey, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
Ooh, so yeah, but so that's my story, and that's what I'm sticking to. That's all I can do. Oh, but girl, so okay. We always got a good show, but this one is going to be, it's definitely jam-packed. We definitely have some actual topics, and I was hoping, because we're recording a couple days later than we normally do, and I was like, I hope nothing else big comes up because we got some good ones this time.
Yeah, absolutely, because we needed to, yeah.
Yeah. But, so let's just jump into it. So first, I want to say congratulations to Tyler Perry.
Yay!
So does he own majority of BET? I think that's what it is, and Viacom.
I didn't look it up, but they said BET and VH1.
And VH1, yeah. So that's basically pretty much Viacom's two major networks, at least nowadays.
Yeah.
So that's So a lot of people were hoping that
it made sense to me because I said, "Oh, that's why ratchet ass Love and Hip Hop didn't come back." To VH1.
Listen.
And then moved y'all's ass over to MTV.
Okay. Because MTV don't give a damn. I mean, music television, they don't give a damn.
Yeah, MTV is home of the young ratchet reality.
Yeah. And that's
like Catfish.
Mm-hmm.
Why Are You Hiding Me?
Yeah.
Ridiculousness.
But you know what? That's kind of how it always was, though, because like even when we were growing up, even though they still played music videos, and but you didn't see
the Real World.
Yeah, like when The Real World and all that came out, I mean, that was geared towards young people.
Oh yeah.
The Road Rules, and then when the challenges came out,
yeah, I forgot about Road Rules.
Yeah, so those were geared towards young people, but they still played.
What was Road Rules about?
It was basically The Real World on wheels. They just went, but I think they were the first ones that did like challenges, and they actually had to like try to earn money. Because remember, at the beginning of The Real World, like the early seasons, I don't think it was until like maybe season 4 or season 5 when they actually like gave them assignments or work to do.
They had to work.
Yeah, before they were just living together and doing whatever.
Yeah, at first it was lit like an actual social experiment.
Yeah.
Actually recorded how they were under one roof.
Yeah, because most of them already had jobs and everything, so they just.
I think it was the year that Cynthia,
that was Miami.
In my head, I can specifically remember Cynthia, they went to work.
Yeah, because they had to
had a job.
Yeah, I think it was like they had to start some kind of business or something like.
That they ran and they had to. I'm almost wondering, did they come up with the concept?
I don't know.
And they started the business. They were the ones who went to work. Was it an ice cream shop in Miami?
It was.
I feel like I remember them being in an ice cream shop.
I can't remember. I'm gonna have to go back because I think it's what's it, Peacock or Paramount Plus? One of those. I think they show the
A
old episodes.
Paramount.
Paramount, yeah. So I'm gonna have to go back and because I've been wanting to go back and watch some of those older seasons
A
because.
Paramount streaming platform.
Mm-hmm.
Does that, hey, Tyler Perry, does that include you?
Listen.
Because if I'm not mistaken, all the what is it called? The Wheels, Laguna
Mm-hmm.
Beach,
Yeah.
The Real World, even Daria,
Mm-hmm.
all those MTV stuff, it comes on Paramount. And you're
Yeah.
gonna have to get that damn app together. Or
Yeah.
just get MTV off of that shit altogether
Exactly.
because
It's a lot
that
going on.
app is terrible.
But you know what I'm pissed about? Now, all the stuff that MTV has brought back on that app. Remember the show True Life? I used to love that show.
Oh, that shit used to be good.
They don't have like a lot of the real good ones on there. And it's like, I think they're doing
So
that
this
shit
is
on
what I'm
purpose.
proposing to Tyler Perry. Now that you brought this up,
Mm
I am proposing that Throwback Thursday, he put all the old good shit on
hmm.
both channels.
Yes.
Put like all the old True Lives on. Put all put the real Video Souls on.
Mm hmm.
Put the real like every Thursday evening at 8 o'clock. Run the entire Video Soul show from 8 to 10 because it was 2 hours.
Yes.
Run the whole show during the day on Throwback Thursday.
Mm hmm.
In the morning time, put all the old like a different worlds on.
Mm hmm.
I know y'all feel some kind of way about Bill Cosby, but in my personal opinion, you should put old Cosby show on. That's just how I feel.
Yeah, they should
Y'all
still be
feel how
showing
y'all want
that.
to feel about William,
Yeah. I mean,
whatever y'all think.
right.
But put the old shit on. I'm sick of looking at Martin. It's time for you to take Martin off.
Oh my gosh.
When people was talking about take Baby Boy out the VCR, take Martin out.
And I love Martin. That's one of my all-time favorite shows, but how many times
But
can
they
you play
killing
it?
it.
They are killing it. And it's just like I don't even watch it anymore.
It's dead. Come on and
Yeah.
get that Martin off of there. Like,
Exactly.
open up the old archives because BET had really good music shows that we don't see no
Mhm.
more.
Yep.
At about 3 o'clock, put Cedar's ass on.
Exactly.
When kids come home from school, let them see what videos really used to be about.
Right.
And go ahead and put Uncut on. I don't even know if Uncut is considered uncut in the day and time we live in.
Probably not. No, it probably come on like after school.
You just put that shit on at midnight. It don't even have to come on at 3 o'clock in the morning no more.
No.
Put that on at 12.
Okay, shit. Put it on at 3 p.m. Kids,
Listen,
that ain't gonna be shit for the kids to watch nowadays. They gonna be like, oh,
but
this
when
ain't
they be
nothing.
acting and the stuff they said, put the old good stuff back on. Cause so Sherry Shepherd used to be on, but it was something else that used to come. Midnight Love.
Oh
Do you
yeah,
remember
Midnight
Midnight
Love. Yep. That's what we went to
Love?
sleep on. Just went to sleep on them little
Listen,
slow jams.
Tyler
Just put
Perry,
that on.
you are the rightful owner of the gems of Black society.
Mm-hmm.
Put the shit back on TV because baby, if I got to see Martin, I bet if I hit God on this TV right now, and I'm
Right.
not sick, I bet Martin's name is on this damn guy.
And Tyler Perry, I love you. I love you down. I respect what you do, but do not turn this into the Tyler Perry station because
Oh well, baby, it's already too late
you know,
on VH1.
am
That's
I just
already what it is.
am I just
Because
wasting my
right now
breath?
it's say at 12 o'clock, Tyler Perry assisted living. I mean, he already. That's all they play on VH1 anyway.
Yeah, that's
And
it.
lo and behold, who come on at 4 o'clock? Martin's ass.
It's
And that's on
right on
VH1.
cue.
And he don't damn go off till 8. That's too long,
That's
y'all.
yeah, it's too much.
Oh, y'all killing that Martin.
Yeah.
My
Oh
goodness. But
my
I hope,
goodness.
we need to put our stuff in writing and put a proposal
Yeah,
down.
something. Yeah, because
Because y'all got some serious gems over there. Don't sit on them.
no, I mean, and that's the thing. It's like people want to see that stuff. You know what I
Yes, we will
mean?
watch it.
Yeah, BET would get so much, and even the younger generation, because I know like my niece, like she's 13, she only listens to 90s R&B. That's it. I mean, she be in her
Mhm.
room getting down, and I'm like, I know that's right. So it's just
Because,
like they
child,
listen
ain't no
to it.
real love songs no more.
Mm-hmm.
Even the people who y'all think sing the love songs,
Mm-mm.
they sound depressed.
Yeah.
They make me feel like they suicidal. Them
Yeah.
Summer Walker, is that her name? Them
I
Summer
know that's
Walker
somebody's
album?
name, but I couldn't tell you what she's saying.
Because I don't be knowing between her and SZA. SZA is the one who sing The Weekend, right?
Yeah, yep, she sings that. Yeah, I do know
Honey,
that.
Summer Walker is depressed.
Something's up.
Like she's clinically
Yeah,
depressed.
something is seriously going on
And it
because
is depressing to listen to that.
and that's why they so messed up now because that's what they listening to. They ain't listening to love. They listening to the bad parts of love. That's what it is. And
Y'all
it ain't
listening to they only singing about the heartbreak.
mm-hmm.
Where is Anita Baker? I love you just because I do. Oh darling,
Child.
you.
Oh, we're gonna get into
Oh,
Anita. Let's speaking of which, let's just go ahead. So
let's go ahead and talk about
congratulations,
Anita because
Tyler.
y'all gonna
Yeah.
leave my girl alone. Come on.
Anita. Now this ain't now listen. Okay, so for people who don't know, let me give a little backstory. Anita Baker and Babyface went on tour to, or on well, they were on tour together. At the beginning, this was Anita's tour, and Babyface signed on to be the. They didn't call it a supporting act or an opening
You
act, but
are,
that's
you are.
basically
Like
what he was. They
we
had,
watched Escape and SWV argue about
yeah,
that shit. And if you are not the headliner, and if
exactly.
y'all have not signed up to co-headline,
Mm-hmm.
your ass is the opening act.
Right. So that's basically what it, but it was like mentioned, so it was called something else in the contract because he was not going to be the opening act or the supporting act, which he was,
Well, that's what he get for signing on to the shit. But go on.
basically. So a few weeks ago, maybe a couple weeks ago, something, I don't know what city they were in, but something happened. It was like a lot of technical difficulties. And, so the show got postponed. Instead of letting Babyface come on and do even just a little bit, of his show, Anita was like, "No, he's not going on at all. I'm going on. I'm going to do my whole show. I don't give a damn what time it is." That's Anita Baker.
Right.
She's going to do her show.
And I'm sure he knows that because listen, y'all came out around the same time.
Mhm.
Before you was Babyface, you was the deal.
Exactly.
And I know that you know.
And she was already
So
Anita
the
Baker.
deal, what's that, like 84,
Something like that.
85?
Yeah.
She came out in what, like 86,
Mhm. They
87,
came out around the same time.
88? So
Yeah.
y'all been in the music industry the same amount of time.
Mhm.
It, if I'm hearing old stories of people saying that she was difficult, listen,
Mhm.
Kenneth, you knew she was difficult from the beginning.
Exactly. So you knew what it was. So Babyface, of course, like everybody else, goes to social media and, he's apologizing to his fans because people did come on the tour to see him as well, of course.
Mhm. So was the technical issue related to him?
No, it was just like something was going on. It didn't have anything to do with him. That's why people were like, she could have shortened her show and
So
let
what
him
exactly made her cut him?
because
See,
she
this
wanted to
sounds
do her whole
weird.
show and
Well,
it was
why
getting
couldn't she
late.
do it the next day?
Well, you know how these venues
No,
and
no.
stuff
What I
are.
mean is, so they had to postpone the show
Mhm.
because of the technical difficulties.
Right.
And so, was he already on stage when they had to postpone the show?
No, he never went on at all.
And she didn't go on.
She went on. They fixed whatever was going on. Whatever
Oh,
happened. Yeah,
so
so
he had already had his set then the day before.
oh well, yeah, I'm sure if they had a show the day before, yeah, but this was at this particular show, this concert. This was like a totally different city from the day before, the day after. So people in this city who came to see Babyface did not get to see him.
Uh-huh. See, something about this doesn't sound right. Okay, no. Now I feel like we actually talking on the phone now. Wait.
No, go ahead, go ahead. That's what this is.
Okay,
Go
something
ahead.
about this doesn't sound right.
Mhm.
We are going on the show.
Right.
We are having technical difficulties.
Right.
If the show gets canceled
Mhm.
because of the technical difficulties,
Mhm.
and so we say, okay, well, we're just going to postpone the show to the next day.
Right. Or
What?
reschedule it for another time if they got a show somewhere else the next day. That's usually what happens. They get it rescheduled
Okay,
to a later
so
date.
my question is, when the
Mhm.
technical difficulties occurred, was did he already go on and do his performance?
No, he didn't
Because
go on at
nobody
all.
got to perform.
No. Okay, so the technical difficulties were going on. Then his
Who
time
was on stage?
no, he was never on stage. He never was
So
able.
nobody ever performed.
No, they finally fixed whatever it was, but like by then, pretty much his show would have been over. So Anita was saying, "Well, since your time is done, Anyway, I'm still gonna go on and do my show. Now she may even came on later than she was supposed to, but
Oh, okay. So
yeah.
he just didn't get to perform
Right, right, yeah.
that day that the technical difficulties happened.
Exactly.
And she said, I don't give a damn.
Basically, yeah.
I'm going to do my
I'm still
show.
going to do my show. Yeah. And people didn't
Okay, well, now I'm gonna be honest. I see
uh-huh.
that's why I like to get all the
You got to.
information.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, okay, business wise first.
Mhm.
No, let's deal with the emotion first.
Right.
Emotion wise, I understand what you're saying. She could have shortened her show.
Mhm.
I would also like to see y'all's contract. Were
Yeah.
you allotted a certain amount of time according to the contract? Like
Exactly.
you're gonna get this an hour and a half. I'm just saying numbers.
Yeah, yeah,
An hour
yeah.
and a half, and then Miss Baker is gonna get 2 hours or
Mhm.
hour and 45 minutes.
Mhm.
And if his hour and a half passed, I mean, I think contractually she's still obligated to
To
do
do her
her
part.
set.
Right.
I do feel bad though that it blew up into, get your ass off this tour if you don't like
Mhm. Basically,
because
because
she from the D. Y'all know
listen,
how she
that's
play
what
with
y'all
men.
don't realize. She is from the D, so and like you said, she has a history of not being nobody to play with on tour, period, but on tour.
She about her business, and
She's
y'all
about
gotta
her business.
remember she was screwed over by a man. Like
Yes.
remember her husband is
Mm,
divorced, and she was screwed over by a man where her
yeah.
money is concerned. She ain't
So
got
she
time for
don't
that.
play.
She don't
No.
play.
No, but see what where it messed up was this wasn't kept between them and their people or
Yeah.
whatever. It went to social media.
How did people even find out?
Babyface. He went to social media and was t- posting all this stuff about what was going on, why his set. Because I guess this happened again or something. You know, something happened again where he either didn't get to perform or I think this time his set was shortened. It was something, but whatever. His fans were pissed because they're like, and they have. And see, this is where it got messed up. He wasn't saying like he was the supporting act or the opening act, so she's the main headliner. He was never saying that. He was alluding to the fact. See, he wasn't being honest either. So Babyface got to take some of this too.
The shady queen.
Yeah, because exactly. Be-
These black men who love these white women, they gonna act funny.
Listen, they're gonna act real funny, but
They're gonna try to change on the black woman in a hot second.
And see, and then it turned in. I'm glad you brought that up too. It turned into like the Escape versus SWV thing, where it's just like because he has more hits and because he's produced more songs or whatever, then his fans were coming out, which people didn't know that his fans were like the Beehive or whatever. And we're going to get into that in a second because Beyonce got brought up. But basically, his fans were just like, this is his tour. This is Babyface's tour. Who's Anita Baker? She ain't got as many hits as so it turned into that. It
It turned
turned
into people talking shit that they
yeah.
don't know nothing about.
And Babyface was
And
basic.
Kenneth is a good writer. Now let
Listen,
me
we're
say
not
that.
going to take that away from him. We know he has hits down. I mean,
Kenneth's pen is strong. But
listen.
baby, how many songs are you listening to? He's singing Whip Appeal,
because on
Tender Lover.
listen, because I went to one of his shows before and he plays and he sings he sings Tony Braxton songs. He sings
Yeah, so
Johnny
he's
Gill
singing
songs.
songs that he wrote.
Exactly. He even did that on his well Teddy Riley did too, but when they had their verses, they played and sang songs that they wrote for other people, which that was the premise of theirs because they're two huge producers and writers.
And let me say this while we on the subject of his ass performance.
Mhm.
I felt some kind of way that he took his old squarehead ass on Tiny Desk and let Shantae Moore sing Karen White's song like Karen White ain't still singing and touring.
Listen, and singing
I didn't
down.
understand that for the life of me.
And speaking of Tiny Desk, we're going to get into Tank too because she always got to put her mouth in everybody's business or whatever. But so it got out of hand, the tweets back and forth, and then we're gonna call her Nita because the D came out and she was just like reading down. I mean, she was going in and she was spilling all the tea. She was just like, this is my tour pretty much. This isn't verbatim. I'm not quoting her, but loosely she was saying, "This is my tour. I don't give a damn how y'all feel. And if
Mm.
him and his people don't like it, they can go. And by the way, y'all are up here acting like, your fans are up here acting like the Beehive. And guess what? He don't even like Beyonce." And some girl, it got that deep, and I was just like, "Wait a minute,"
She probably ain't lying.
and I sat there and thought about it, and I said, "Wait a minute, he's never worked with Beyonce."
She probably ain't lying.
She probably ain't lying at all, and it's
She ain't
probably known
lying.
around the business that he doesn't like Beyonce. It's probably known, and
Because he
she
probably doesn't. No, let me shut up too.
okay.
Um, she may not necessarily be his kind of singer. Let me just
Yeah,
put
and
it
that's
like that
yeah,
nicely.
because he don't work with everybody. I mean,
He
so
likes, in the words of Whitney Houston's, I like singers.
yeah.
I like people who can actually sing.
Mm-hmm.
That's who I listen to.
There you go.
That's what that strikes me
That's what
as.
that gives.
And
Yeah.
you have to think he has worked with singers.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying she's not a singer.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying she's more of a pop singer.
Right. I mean, because we can keep it real. It doesn't mean that he doesn't like Beyonce. He just may not like her style. But he never, I don't think that he ever worked with Michael Jackson. I don't think he ever worked with Janet Jackson. He did work with Madonna. He did do a song with Madonna, but that's my song right there, that Take a Bow. I love that song.
And I'm gonna say it one more time for the people in the back. Even the people that you named, he likes singers,
That's what I'm saying.
people who can sing.
Yeah. And even, and like Beyonce, Janet, Michael, and even though he did work with Madonna, still, it's just like they are performers. They don't
Yeah, like
necessarily, they're not
Michael.
known
Yeah,
as
Michael and
singers.
Janet are not strong singers.
Exactly. So it's
And
just
this is
like,
what
yeah,
these new generations, they don't like to hear that.
no,
They do not want you to talk about their favorite
at all.
in the context that baby they can't really sing that
Mm-mm.
good. Now, they is hella performers.
They're gonna give you a show
They gonna
down.
put a good show on, and it's
Yeah,
gonna be sparkles. They gonna fly out the air.
but they're
They gonna
not.
flip.
Yeah, but they're not. And I'll put it like this: they can sing, but they're not vocalists. He likes
What
working
do
with
what do people
vocalists.
say from the country? They could just flat foot sing. Like they can't flat foot sing. Now none of them
No.
people you name.
No.
Mm-mm.
Uh-uh.
They need a mic. They need a little touch of the auto tune. Just a little touch.
Yeah, look, they need their strong background singers, and
Yeah.
y'all know Janet is my favorite entertainer of all down, but girlfriend cannot hold a candle to someone like Whitney or Mariah. She
Or
can't even. She's
Mariah
not.
Carey.
Listen,
Honey, he's used to people who can belt them notes out.
right. So, and that's where,
Deborah Cox, like he needs you to
yeah,
hold notes.
right. So, at the end of the day, after all was said and done,
His ass at home and the
his
music
ass at
was
home, yeah,
going.
with his white woman chilling. So there you go. And then I had to put Tank, girl. Then I had to put Tank in here because here comes Tank. Tank is always in everybody else's business. Now,
Tank is like he is the singer crew.
oh
Like he is a
yeah,
part of the
he's going to
crew
go.
of
Yeah,
writers.
and
Like
he like you said, he was also with, because who was it? It was Avery Johnson, Shantae Moore, and is that his name, Avery Johnson, or is it Avery?
I think you're right. It was
Okay,
Tank, Avery Johnson, and
yeah,
it was Shantae Moore. Yeah.
yeah. They
So see,
they sang
there's
back
and
up
I
on the
don't think
tiny
people
desk.
know this. There's like a little clique of the real people who sing.
Mm-hmm.
The real people who be in the studio really writing. And Tank is in the clique.
Mm-hmm.
Tank is in the clique who they can sing.
Yeah.
That's how Vince and LaShawn Daniels and Tamar, Tony Braxton, dang, I can't, Nissan, the drummer,
Mm-hmm.
like Jubu, he played guitar for Frankie Beverly and Maze. There's a crew of people who actually is the GOAT at what they do. Like who
Right.
actually get in the studio, write, and they get to the real of the real.
Mm-hmm.
And Tank's in the crew.
Yeah.
Shit. Aaliyah,
Mm-hmm.
Timberland, Missy, like they was in the crew.
Yeah.
Before all that stuff happened, like back in the day,
Mm-hmm.
listen, it was just a crew of people who,
You knew who to go
oh yeah, they
to.
worked together. Yeah, you knew
Yeah.
who to go to.
Right. And the ones who just show up and, do their session
And
and
Tank probably
leave.
feel like he can say whatever he want because
It
he know he part of the clique.
mm-hmm. Because he sure did. He got in there and he was just basically, and he wasn't being shady or nothing, but it was just funny because he just always has something to say. But I
He's a,
get it.
he's a
It's just,
lady man.
yeah, yeah. So I mean, but he of course had to put his 2 cents in, and but
Yeah.
it was like he was trying to be the mediator, but Anita was like, "Girl, go on somewhere." She wasn't trying to hear none of
Child, leave,
that.
Leave D-Town Woe now. That's what they used to say. Leave the D-Town Woe now
Okay.
alone, baby.
Y'all don't understand about these
She
Detroit
rough.
people. Oh my gosh. Don't let the skirts and the sensual music fool you.
Mm-mm.
Don't let the love songs fool you.
That's what I have to
Anita.
tell y'all from about. Didn't we talk about this last week, girls from Chicago?
Yeah.
They be cute, but they be thugs. They be thugs.
Listen, be ready.
Chicago and Detroit, y'all better leave them girls
Leave
alone.
them of the hell alone.
Love them and just go on and leave them
That's
alone.
it. Let them be
Don't be
them.
trying to get into no confrontations with them women.
Oh no, you don't want that.
Do not do it.
Child. Whew. But yeah, so there's that. So that was the drama with them. I just thought it was funny. It's just like I love seeing
Girl.
the old girls go at it. I am here for it because this is just like they're old enough to be our parents. So it is so amazing to watch. And I was just sitting back just watching everything. I usually don't keep up with
Girl,
shit.
Babyface used to like Connie.
Oh
When they
yeah.
was, Connie used to hang out with them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep.
She was like, he was a nerd.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
now
what a
look
lot
at
of
you.
people say. They're just
Look at
like,
you and now look at him. He's
uh,
silly.
well, I mean,
Go with the goofy. She's like, he just and she's I mean, that ain't nice what I was about to say. But she just I catch myself. She's like, he was a nerd. He just was always, so that's back in the day when Boosie Collins and
yeah.
Dayton was the place to be
Oh yeah.
back
Heck
then in the
yeah.
day.
People, and we're going to have to do a show on that because people
Yeah.
don't realize the impact that Dayton and Cincinnati have on just
Hmm.
soul music period, soul and
Absolutely.
R&B. Yeah.
It's a funk museum here. Funk music,
Exactly.
that's what they call it. Yeah.
I mean, just how many acts have come out of Dayton period?
Hmm.
Girl, yeah,
Yeah.
we're going to have to do a show
I
on
feel
that.
like they just named a street. So the street that's like 2 blocks from my grandmother's house,
Mhm.
they named Hillcrest and Salem. It's on a
Mhm.
corner where the Ohio players used to practice, where they had their studio.
Oh,
I
okay.
feel like they just named it Ohio Players Way.
Oh,
It was
okay.
on the news or something.
I'm gonna
Like
have to
I
look that
remember this.
up.
They all came back for the ceremony.
Oh, okay.
Y'all watched the what was it called? Unsung. Watch the Unsung of Ohio
Yeah.
Players.
Yeah, and that's I'm glad you brought up Unsung because I remember I used to watch like when Unsung first came on and it was real popular. There
Yes.
were so many groups that came out of that area, Dayton,
Yeah.
Cincinnati, and people were like who were reviewing the unsungs. They were like really shocked how many people actually came from that area, and I was like, y'all just
Yes.
ain't got a
Midnight
clue.
Star was like
Mm-hmm.
the Cincinnati area,
Yep.
Middletown. Roger, Zap.
Yep. The OJs. People don't
Yes.
know that
Like
they're
people don't
from.
know.
Listen, they ain't got a clue, but they gonna find
Uh-huh.
out. So.
Between Ohio, this area, and
Mm-hmm.
Philadelphia, like
Oh.
they ran the 70s where music
Mm-hmm.
was concerned.
Yeah, for sure. So
You know?
yeah. So okay. So speaking, you mentioned our girl next. You mentioned baby girl next. So ABC the other day did they have a series called Superstar, which I didn't know about. And
Mm.
so I went back on
I think
Hulu.
she was episode 3.
Yeah. So I went back on Hulu and watched the other ones that they had.
Who were the other two?
The other two were was it Reba McEntire
Hmm.
and oh
Yes, it wasn't my name. Here's
listen.
your one chance,
Y'all don't
pass it
want a
to me,
day of
girl.
Reba. Not a day of her.
Yeah, that's when videos was real.
Listen, I can't remember who the other one was. I'll look it up in a second.
Okay,
But
I'm gonna go back and look at it.
yeah, but
When they
it's on
said
Hulu.
episode 3, I did see that, and I was like,
Yeah,
episode
but I think
3,
there's another
like,
season. I think there's a season before that because I saw like Whitney Houston's name, and I watched another one. I may not have watched the other one in season 3, but there was another one I watched, and I can't
mm,
remember. I can't remember who it was, but so this past week they did an Aaliyah quote unquote documentary, and I put that in quotes. First of all, if you're an Aaliyah fan, you really didn't learn anything new, and I felt like it was completely rushed. It was not good.
oh,
I mean, it was just like, okay, finally, there were people around Aaliyah and R. Kelly who, you
talked
know,
about the
who
marriage.
talked about the marriage. And
Mm,
I didn't know that Torre, I think that's how you pronounce his name, he was the one that I guess he was working for Vibe at the time.
Yes, he was.
Yeah,
He printed that marriage license.
yeah,
I will never forget when they put that marriage certificate in
in
Vibe
Vibe
magazine.
magazine. Yeah, everybody
Yeah,
was like, "Oh my gosh!" Yeah, that was like, so I mean, beyond
because they
salacious.
denied it for so long.
Mm-hmm.
And then in Vibe magazine, I'll never forget it. We were in high school, and I
Yeah.
was in study hall with Brandy Burrell, God rest her soul. And
Uh-huh.
I used to get a subscription to Vibe magazine,
Yeah, so
and
did
we
I.
looked at that,
Mm-hmm.
and it was printed plain as day. So then
Yeah.
people were like, "Is it real?
Yeah.
Like,
And he
oh
got
my
it
God,
so
he really married her?"
and he got it so simple. Like he just called the Cook County registrar, whoever it was, and asked if there was a marriage certificate for, and he said Robert Kelly and Aaliyah Houghton, and boom, there it was. And whoever it was faxed it right to them, and that's how they got it. Now I didn't know that. I thought they had to do some digging or something, but he said he just called and it was faxed to them like within 10 minutes. So that's how easy it was to get it.
And once he released, now I didn't watch the show, but I
Mm-hmm.
do know once that marriage certificate became released, I don't even think her parents knew. But it
No.
felt like once her parents got wind of it and they
Mm-hmm.
actually saw that certificate,
Mm-hmm.
they got that marriage annulled.
Yeah, and they did talk about that too. They said they had no idea, but
Yep.
just what you said, as soon as
It
they
was like
found
a
out about
big
it, they worked on
blowout.
it. Mm-hmm.
Yes. And I'm gonna tell you this, I don't fucking remember them. Oh, was I supposed to cuss? I'm sorry,
No.
Lord forgive me. I don't remember Robert and Aaliyah working with each other after that,
No, they
really.
didn't. No, it was a rap between them because the
Oh
thing,
yeah, her parents
yeah,
intervened.
they intervened, and then of course, she basically had to reinvent herself, and it didn't take her long because she came right
Right.
back with "Are You That Somebody," and then she started working
Mhm.
with No, I'm sorry,
Missy and
One in a Million. I'm sorry.
yeah, it was one in a million first.
Yeah,
Yeah,
then "Are You That Somebody" came out after that
on
album.
the soundtrack. Yeah,
Yeah, but
baby, because that one in a million
bec
album.
but it was like, listen, but it was
Oh,
like nobody wanted to work. We'll get into the One in a Million album, but it was like nobody wanted to work with her, and everybody was blaming her. Typical, everybody was blaming her for what happened because R. Kelly was the bigger star, and he
and
had.
then nobody's thinking about the fact that this girl is like 15 years old.
Exactly. Yeah, because remember she was 15 when they got married and lied and said she was 18. On the marriage certificate it says she was 18, but she was only 15.
And I know I come to this place every time we talk about Robert, but every time we get a glimpse of his psyche
Mhm.
and like the things he does, and he was doing her. Now, if we stop and think about this,
Mhm.
remember that girl. So he had two girls. Remember that he had under his spell recently.
Mhm.
And remember he was dressing that girl like
Yeah.
a boy.
Yep.
But if you think about the way that girl looked, it
Mhm.
looks just like how Aaliyah did.
Yep.
If you think about back and forth,
Mhm.
and you think about um what's that one video she was in when she had the vest on?
Um
Ah,
is it
the vest. I
At
think
Your
it's At Your
Best?
Best You Are
Yeah.
Loved. Let
Mhm.
me tell you, it gives I don't want to call it demented and I don't want to really diminish it, but it really shows you the place that his mind is
Oh
in
yeah.
and how screwed up he was as a
Mhm.
kid or and as a grown man based on the
Mhm.
things that happened to him in childhood.
Oh yeah, and then they brought that up. They said like how he and Aaliyah would dress alike all the time.
Oh, he is a
Stuff
God
like,
help him.
yeah. So it
They
was.
did. They used to dress alike in them videos.
When they showed the clip when they were on Video Soul and they had on the same exact outfit. It wasn't like nothing was changed. They had on the same exact outfit. And people were just like, that's a little bit extreme. And I think at the time no one really thought about it.
So what was he? Because he was 20 something then. He had to
He
be
was
right.
28. They said he
And
was
so she
28
was
and she
so
was
he was
15.
about
So he's what, 13 years older than her? So he's 13 years older than us basically because she's our age.
and you know what's so funny about this? It was sick then,
Mhm.
but now so I had made a comment on a video and speaking of Tank, I think it was Tank.
Mhm.
Tank and my niece. Is that her name?
Moniece?
Moniece, the
Yeah.
girl
From Love and
from
Hip Hop?
So everyone was like, oh, telling Tank how sick he was because he used to date my niece.
Oh.
Um, and you know that she was his he was friends with her father.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like 19.
Right.
And he would have been in his 20s.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever it was, there was a 12-year age
Yeah.
difference. And I was watching people like, oh, he's sick, he's sick, he's sick, he's sick. Y'all got to keep that same energy. And I politely
Mm-hmm.
said, Jay-Z is 12 years older than Beyonce, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
So y'all calling him sick in this instant, some of y'all's favorite people is in relationships right now with people that's older than them.
I mean, because didn't Jay-Z admit that when Beyonce first came out and she was a teenager, he said that was going to be his wife? Did I, now
Now,
I
mind you, she was 15.
15 when they came. Yeah. Oh, they love them 15-year-olds, child. Yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying. I'm curious where the line is.
Mm-hmm.
Period. Where's the line?
Yep.
Because Netflix is coming out with a movie where Gabrielle Union is supposed to be in a relationship with a young boy,
Oh yeah, I
and
heard about
her
that.
boss is the boy's mother.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm interested to see
What?
what is the age difference.
Yeah, and what the reaction's going to be if it is that drastic, like how these
I
men.
want to sit back and see because I'm sure women gonna be cheering.
Oh yeah.
And we got this so bad, and I want us to stop this. If it's gonna be bad where men is concerned, it got to be bad for us too.
Mm-hmm.
You can't be mad at them for being pedophiles and you won.
Right.
We gotta call a thing a thing. Like I don't know why we do that.
Yeah, I don't understand.
It's weird regardless. So I'm not taking anything away from what R. Kelly did, but it's happening today in front of us. That's why
Mm-hmm.
I brought up Tank. Because
Mm-hmm.
I saw so many people bashing Tank in those comments.
Mm-hmm.
And I was kind of thinking to myself, y'all, Jay-Z is 12 years older. And I said that. Like I said
Right.
it. So how is it okay in their relationship, but this was wrong?
Mm-hmm.
Y'all gotta make this make sense.
Yeah.
It's just like I say about sexual harassment. It's only sexual harassment because you don't like that boy.
That's it. Because if you thought he was the finest thing,
You wouldn't care.
mm-mm.
And he could be saying the exact same stuff. But because you don't like him, or what you call unwanted advances, because a man might tell you you're attractive, or oh, you look nice today, because that's all it takes nowadays.
Oh yeah.
You don't have to physically put your hands on nobody. If you just tell a woman, oh, you look nice, and she's not telling you, don't say that. She's saying thank you. Oh, I appreciate that. Two days later, you in human resources.
How often does that happen? That happens so
How often
often.
does that happen?
Mm-hmm.
Now you got him looking like he's crazy.
Yeah.
But really, you don't like him.
Mm-mm.
I'll tell you,
It's
women
so messed
exhaust
up.
me, and I'm a
Yeah.
woman, and it just
Yeah.
exhausts me. But I did not want to watch it because
Mm-hmm.
it just brings like a sadness
Yeah. And
to
normally
me
I don't
because
watch
of what
things.
happened.
Yeah, and normally I don't watch things like on artists that have already passed away, and especially
Hmm.
like when tragic things are going to be brought up.
Yeah,
But I was
especially
curious.
artists that you like.
Yeah, thank you. But I was curious because I was just like, okay, ABC's doing this. I see they have a series of this show. I never heard of it, so obviously I don't know how good the series is doing.
Hmm.
But but granted, I don't pay too much attention to television anymore.
And
But
I think I wonder were they doing it on this person
mm-hmm.
because of Black Music Month.
Oh, it's possible. There's always something. I mean, they had like if I want
Yeah.
to be mistaken, I think this was season 2, and I do think that they had
Hmm.
other black artists that they did in the
I
previous
have to
season.
look at it and see because I did see
Yeah.
that, and I was like, and I was
Mm-hmm.
just wondering like, why now?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
why her? Like,
Right.
what brought this about?
Yeah, and I
I
think
don't think it's her birthday.
well they talked about
No, because her birthday's in January,
yeah,
right?
her birthday's in January and she passed away in
In
August.
August. So yeah,
So,
I just couldn't understand why now.
and it's not like a milestone year because they said this August it'll be 21 years that she's been gone,
Yeah,
which is crazy. But yeah, it's or did they say 22 years? I think they said it's been 21 years since she's been gone. So yeah.
yeah.
So, but yeah, it was just like, but I think, and this is just me just speaking, but I think that because they spent a lot of time. Oh, I got something else to say, but they spent a lot of time on the R. Kelly thing, and I think it's because of what happened to him. They feel comfortable talking about it more now. Because you want to
Hmm.
talk about now how many people failed her, and how she like basically had to be, and they didn't say it in these many words, but pretty much they were saying that two nobodies from Virginia, basically Timberland and Missy, who which they weren't really nobodies, it's just we didn't know them, but they were
Hmm.
working in the business, but how they were able to take her under their wing and create the classics that they did. But it was like everyone was scared to work with her, even though
But
she was the
scared
child of the
why? She didn't
situation.
do anything.
Exactly. But it's just the double standard, and that's where we just went into the whole conversation that we had. It's just such a huge double standard. But they had
And
her
it's
uncle.
like, and I feel like Missy had an album before Aaliyah had one in a million, didn't she?
No, her album didn't come out till like a year after. But Missy was in a girl group. Remember, she was in that girl group
Yeah,
but
she
they
was in
didn't really
Twister.
do nothing. But she was like producing and writing, for other
Absolutely.
artists. Yeah, and Timberland, I
She
think
was
he was
just
like
behind
really
the
get
scenes.
right. But it was like we didn't know them, so that's why they didn't call them nobodies. But it was basically that's what they
Hmm.
were
But it was what they
implying. Yeah,
insinuated, yeah.
insinuated exactly. But Barry Hankerson, he was on there,
Oh my God, please don't. I can't with Barry.
and
I'm just, and the only reason I'm pissed at Barry is because it took you all this time to release that music.
that's what they were talking about. They had fans on there. They even had who did they have? They had a couple like star like younger girls who were not our generation, but like they're out now. I can't think of who they were. There were two of them, and they were like dressed like Aaliyah and everything. And they were just talking about how um, she influenced them or whatever, and they were so young when she passed away and how it affected them and everything.
Hmm.
But they were basically saying like you took so much away from because of the infighting, because I guess it was a dispute between Aaliyah's estate and the record label, which is her uncle.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, so he didn't believe in streaming. That's basically what it was, and he had
That's
the
all it was. That's
yeah,
all it was.
and so everyone was trying to feed in his hard-headed head. Even Gladys Knight was like, "You need to release her music." Because a whole generation is hearing about
And
this
and I
girl.
and listening to him say he doesn't believe in streaming,
Hmm.
technically, I think it took him a long time to comprehend how he was going to get paid.
That's what it
he
was.
he couldn't comprehend how he was making money
Yep.
because of his mindset
Right.
was CD sales,
Yeah.
and he couldn't translate CD sales into streaming sales. Like,
Hmm.
what is this beneficial? How is this beneficial to
To
me
me,
where the cash is
exactly.
concerned?
Yeah.
He didn't really give a damn about her, that
No.
music, none of that. He wanted to know what was the bottom line.
Because I'm gonna have to split this with her estate. Oh hell no! What is streaming? What is it? So that's where. But he had the nerve to apologize at the end. Talk about, I'm sorry it
Boy,
took so long. He didn't give a
you and that
reason.
apology can ride
Yeah,
a
I was just like,
gasoline shield to hell.
but you can tell so many people were pissed that he didn't, that it took so
That was
long,
stupid,
and it was
man.
just like radio stations couldn't even play her music. That's why you didn't hear
Oh
her.
yeah, that music was locked
It
up.
was locked up, and it was so ridiculous as to the point that it was locked up.
I had an Aaliyah playlist on Tidal.
Mm-hmm.
It had 8 songs on it,
Yeah.
but the 8 songs came from like,
It was the one in the middle. Wait a minute, what album was it? It
no,
wasn't
it
her
was
first
no
one.
album, but what it was, remember, she was on some soundtracks.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
It was
yeah.
music that you could dig up through
Through the
soundtracks.
soundtracks,
That
yeah.
Ice Cube movie with him, and I feel like, oh my God, what was that? Because Destiny's Child was on that soundtrack too. And they
Mm-hmm.
had a really good song on there. But I dug it. I dug up those 8 songs through places like that.
Mm-hmm. Because you couldn't
Like,
find her
it
stuff
was hard
anywhere.
to find that music.
Yeah.
He should be ashamed of himself.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just like, it's no excuse for it. I don't care what he say.
No. So there was that. To me, if you haven't seen it, I mean, it wasn't really. It was only an hour, so that's why I was just like, okay, I can. And I watched it on Hulu, so I didn't have to sit
Yeah.
through commercials or nothing. Well, I did, but but it wasn't. I was just able to watch it at my own time, and I was just like, I was like, this isn't.
Right.
So okay, so finally. Now, I didn't really know too much about this. You actually brought it to my attention, so
So
go
let me say,
ahead.
um, those of you who are, I don't want to say heavy into social media, but if you know about fashion, if you know about hair, if you know anything about wigs, you know that Alonzo, what's Alonzo's last name? I forgot that
Arnold.
fast. Arnold. Alonzo Arnold is really, really big in the hair business. I believe, as a matter of fact, he has done Portia's wigs a number of times for the Real
Mhm.
Housewives of
Oh,
Atlanta.
he's done a lot of
So
people in Atlanta.
he keeps the girls together.
Yeah.
Okay. So people have always questioned Lonzo's sexuality
Mhm.
and questioned it to the point where he always gets into these full outfits. I guess we would call them female outfits. We call them,
Mhm.
skirts, tights, boots, and he looks
Extremely
amazing.
androgynous. Yeah, I mean, yeah, looks
And when he
amazing.
has these clothes on, you can't necessarily, we know because we know him,
Right.
but if you were just someone coming upon this picture in passing,
Mhm.
you would not know that that was a man. You wouldn't
Right.
know that. So honestly, but he never necessarily talked about. I've heard people ask him in interviews before about his sexuality,
Mhm.
and he never really confirms or denies. Like, I think that he has said that he is gay,
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he does. Yeah,
but
he doesn't. Yeah.
he never really comes out and says, people will ask him, "Are you trans?" And he
Mhm.
would never really. He'll be like, "No, I'm just me." Like,
Yeah.
never really confirming it. Well, this week or 2 weeks ago, we just pop up on Instagram, and he's getting a whole ass.
Mhm.
That's what you see on your timeline
Yeah, you just see
on his
ass.
profile, his ass on the operating table,
Right.
a
And
booty.
yeah, and Alonzo's a little guy, so
Oh,
this
and
is
he's very
very
petite. Again,
yeah.
he's a petite. He would be considered a petite woman. Like,
Yes.
he's tiny.
Yeah.
Okay, so fast forward, we see he get a booty. Then he turned over. He did something to his stomach. I don't know.
Mhm.
Well, I don't know if this was after the operation, because honestly, he could have released these videos and already this be post op. I didn't really think about that until right now.
Right. 'Cause yeah, 'cause you don't never know their timelines with stuff because they
Yes, people
record
just
things
kind of
early.
release stuff whenever
Yeah.
they want.
Mhm.
So he was doing an interview. What's that girl's name he was doing that interview with? Because she was on
She was
reality
on
TV,
yeah,
I
she
think.
was on Basketball Wives, wasn't she, or one of them
Yeah, I think
shows?
so.
I can't
So
think of
she
her
has a
name.
podcast. He does an interview with her, and in the interview, she asks him, did he take hormone pills? And he said no. And
Mhm.
she was like, "Oh wow, so this is just like your normal look." He said, "Yes, I'm naturally soft." What is
Mhm.
that called in the trans world, Danielle? Because you said it to me.
What did I
Fem, is that what they
film
call fem?
film
So
film realness or something like that.
yes, he could get in the what is it called?
Film
He could get in
real
the show,
yeah, like the balls and
and
everything like
yeah,
that
he
and
could go to a ball and he could win because he would look
mhm.
like a girl, like,
Yeah.
wholeheartedly. So she was like, "Oh my God, you're naturally soft."
Mhm.
So he's like, "Yes." And so she says, "You've never taken hormones." And here comes the controversy.
Mhm.
So some of his trans counterparts were upset by this comment that he made. He said, "No, I never wanted to take hormones." And he gave his reasons why.
Right.
He said he did not want to do that because his friends who were on hormones, they were having really bad mood swings.
Mhm.
They were aggressive, you know. And these are the things that his friends are saying to him.
Right.
These are the reactions that they're having to these hormones. And he said they be musty. Like,
Mhm.
they be stinking. And, I just didn't want to take the hormone.
Right.
And baby, when I say they came after him, baby, oh boy, he
Listen.
lit they fucking fire. Do you hear
I
me?
mean, it went down.
He went down. And but the thing that shocked me the most about this,
Mhm.
as a woman, naturally born,
Mhm.
I was like, so they didn't know that though.
Listen.
Women go through menopause, women get
Yeah.
sweaty, sweat, you gonna get musty.
Mhm.
Like, that is you do. You gotta double up on your
Yeah,
deodorant.
yeah,
You
and you
know,
made a good point. Like when we were talking about this, they know it. They just didn't want that out because they want to be presented as, I'm transitioning into a woman, so I'm supposed to be, women are looked at as, soft and always smelling good, and that's just the, it's just it was just like
okay, but let's lift the veil. As a woman, I'm gonna say it
right,
again. We actually women, so
right.
we can tell you that what
That's
he
not true.
said, it was nothing wrong with what he said.
No.
Like women do go through that. Women
Mhm.
go through menopause,
This
and let's just think about this:
yeah.
you're pumping a foreign entity into your body
Mhm.
that has no business there.
Because
It's
and I told you too, like this happens with trans men too. When they start taking testosterone, they have the same effects. They get real aggressive. They have mood swings. They, their body is changing, so they're
your body
having
odor is
yeah,
going
your
to
body. Oh,
change.
yeah.
That's a chemical reaction.
Mhm.
I don't know why they were so livid that he
Yeah.
said that. Like, and it was like, but it is the truth.
I think what it is, and I thought about this like later on, because I watched that video again, and I think what it is they want him just to come out and say that he's trans. And they feel like he's playing in their face. I think that's what it is. I think that's where a lot of the hurt for the trans girls is coming from, is because they feel like, and they've been feeling this way since Alonzo was on T.S. Madison's The Queen Supreme Court. And I really didn't know. I knew who Alonzo was, but I didn't like. I never really saw him, and I never saw him like dressed up. I always saw him like with a cap on, and he was
Right.
doing somebody's
And he's
hair.
doing hair, yeah, because
Yeah,
he be busy, yeah.
but when I saw
But can
him
I
on,
just say
go
this?
ahead,
You just said this, and before I lose my train of thought,
go ahead.
y'all like to wait on people to say what they already showing you.
Yeah, yeah, and that's
Y'all
basically where I
love
was
that.
going.
I
Yeah.
don't know why people you we live in such a society where people want you to verbally declare something
Mm-hmm.
that I'm already showing you.
Right.
Why would he need to tell you that he's trans and he's
Exactly.
on the operating table getting ass and titties?
I mean, y'all
I mean,
listen.
what do you think he's doing?
Now, B. Scott is still out there doing his thing, but he's not as popular as he was. And if B. Scott was coming up now, like, because Alonzo gives me a younger B. Scott. B.
Hmm.
Scott, very androgynous, has, quote unquote soft features. If you saw B. Scott out dressed up and everything and that hair flowing and stuff like that, if at first glance you would think B. Scott was a woman.
Um, this the only thing that's going against B. Scott. He got a hard ass jawline.
Well, I mean, a lot of
That
them. I mean,
jawline is
yeah,
not
that,
giving. Alonzo's
yeah.
face is
Well,
female.
yeah, yeah,
His
yeah. I'm
chin,
just talking
like
about.
that's where you catch most is the jaws.
Oh, okay.
Alonzo's jawline, like around his chin area,
Mm-hmm.
his face looks just soft.
Yeah.
Like his lips, everything about him. If you didn't know,
Mm-hmm.
that you would think that
You
was
would
a
never,
girl.
yeah, you would never know with Alonzo that he
No,
was actually a born male.
I think B. Scott's hair
Mm-hmm.
saves the day,
Well,
but
yeah, I mean, of course, but I'm just
but
talking
I
about like
think
if you
that
just
jawline,
glanced, yeah,
yeah.
if you glance, which I mean, there are a lot of girls out there. If you just glance at them, when they're all dressed up and dolled up, and you might think that they're a woman, but I'm just saying that aura that they give, and that
Yeah,
yeah. So that's
the
what
feminine aura, like they're
exactly.
both feminine,
And it's not put on because you can tell when someone's putting it on too hard. It's just like with them, it's
right?
just natural. I mean, I'm sorry, you can disagree all you want to, but with them, that's just who
It is
they are.
natural. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Like
But the
I don't know why they want him to like declare it. What
yeah.
else you think he
Well,
doing?
to me, it's the same thing as like when like okay, someone is gay,
Mhm.
someone is lesbian,
Mhm.
and you want them to say it so bad, but they just won't. And the
But do they
people
have to?
exactly, that's the thing. It's like, why are you? And it's like almost like they're always trying to make people come out,
Because
and
we
that's a
live in a
huge
society where
problem.
we want to know everybody's business. And
Yeah.
we were just talking about this with like, oh, maybe it was me and my friend, me and my best friend were talking about this.
Mhm.
Like I said, people can say whatever they want to say about Tyler Perry,
Mhm.
but I'm gonna tell y'all just like this: that's a fine man. That
Listen,
man tall, and that man is fine.
I don't give a
And
dang what
every
y'all think
step
about
he
him.
take, I take too. I don't care what y'all think. And she said it. She was like, huh, because if he pulled up right now, I'd be like, hey, tell
Br-
my daughter, like, hey, baby, call your daddy because I'm about to go on a run real quick.
exactly. We about to hit
Listen,
it to Atlanta real quick and you do what we
yes, we
do.
finna go. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know. But see, it is because of the fact that people don't know his business
Mm-hmm. And there's been
that
so much
when
put
you
out that too.
yes,
There's these
they
rumors
force
put
you.
out.
They think that they can
Mm-hmm.
force you to tell them what
Right.
they want to know about you. And
Right.
when you don't tell them, they create these
Mm-hmm.
assumptions
Oh yeah.
about you.
People want
And
to create
we're
a
so
story.
nosy. We're nosy.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah. I mean, just
Like,
by nature, nosy. And want to know
yes,
your
like
business. And when we don't
you
know, we're going to
don't
make it
have
up.
to know. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you don't have to know. People don't have to tell you what they are, or
Mm-hmm.
that's what I think that's why when straight people. Because look, I'm gonna stand on this and say, look, I would really prefer not to see nobody kissing on the TV. I don't
Right.
care if you're straight, gay. I don't want to see two dogs licking on each other. Like I don't
Listen.
want to see nothing. If we just being honest. And I think when people say, I wish we go back to that time, at least for myself, it's never really an attack on. I just wish we went back to a time where not knowing, like,
Mm-hmm.
or why, who asked you? Like, nobody cared to know.
Right. Like, why do we need to know?
Yes, that is the part that I wish we went back to.
Mm-hmm.
Because now it seems like, now sometimes I feel like when people say gay agenda,
Mm-hmm.
it almost from a marketing standpoint, it seems fake on behalf of the companies.
Oh,
Like it
it
seems
is.
like people are just like pretending to
Yeah.
support
And
LGBT. Like I don't think
mm-hmm.
I don't. It doesn't feel genuine, and that's why it
It's
feels
popular.
forced on people.
Just like we talked
Yes,
about this with the HBCU thing, it's the same thing. HBCUs are starting to become popular because, they're being put out there more, even though they've been around for
and now you
hundreds of
see white
years.
people trying to capitalize on it.
Exactly. And it's the
Ralph
same
Lauren
thing.
has a whole like, doesn't he have like a Howard Spellman line or
Yeah,
something?
something like that. Yeah. Yep.
Like you see people capitalizing on it,
Mm-hmm.
but it's like I wish we just went back to a place where your business was your business.
Right. And agenda, that's the thing too. Like when people talk about the gay agenda, it just makes it sound, so just like it makes it sound like it's something bad, where it's just like gay people are just trying to live their lives like you are.
And that's
And
and
quit
that's my
blame and
thing.
quit
Like, why do we have to for? Like I said, it's not about the. I just would prefer that we it's not none of our business.
no,
I think people should be able
exactly.
to live their lives in private. Cause listen, as a straight person, I want to live my damn life in private too.
Listen,
Like, what happened to having a private life? It's like it doesn't exist
everything has
anymore.
because of social media. I'm sorry. As much as
And
I
that
love
is
social
it's
media, everything has to
tearing
be out there.
society apart.
Yeah.
It's tearing it
And I
apart.
think it bothers us because
We didn't grow up
we
like
didn't
that.
grow up like that. Exactly. Everything was whatever stays in this house stays in the house.
Yeah.
Your business was your business.
And I want to say this because I know people give a lot of stuff. Like the first thing people use as an example is sexual abuse. When they talk about that statement, oh yeah, because Uncle so and so was abused. No, sometimes you just had to tell your kids because your kids will go outside and say, "My mama walk around the house with her bra and panty on." Like,
Mm-hmm.
no, you
You
had to
telling
teach
too
your
much.
kids, shut
Yeah.
up. Stop telling everybody your business. Like my grandma said, you run around and spill your guts.
Mm-hmm.
What happened in here, don't you tell another soul outside of this house.
Right.
Like, but no, we gotta tell everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody gotta know. That's why y'all be houses be getting robbed because y'all want to show everybody everything.
Everything. And then you
You
post
want
them
to
when
tell
you
people
out of
what city you
town.
live in.
Yeah.
Like y'all just do the weirdest
It's
stuff.
the
Oh,
weirdest shit. And it's just like, and all it is just for attention. And you just look at it like, is it worth it?
it's not.
Mm-mm.
It's not. And I don't think anything. And I want to say that I don't think what Lonzo said was wrong. I
Mm-mm.
think he told his truth.
Yeah.
And then we big on that. We don't respect other people's opinion about stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We get mad at them for saying what they want to say about
Right.
their life.
Mm-hmm.
They're not asking you to live their life. That's his
Right.
experience. Those are the friends that he has.
Mm-hmm.
That's their experience.
Exactly. And
You
then
know?
this too, even though he was being serious, like that's the reason why everybody knows Alonzo's a clown. So of course he's
Hmm.
a fool. He's funny. So of course he's going to, talk about that. You know,
Yeah,
like
and he doesn't want to take hormones. What you got
he
an
does
attitude for? He don't want to run around musty.
exactly. And the thing is, low key, another reason why the girls may be mad is because he don't need to take hormones. I mean, look at
Yeah,
him.
that's why they was
I
really
think
mad.
that's what it is.
Cause I don't
Yeah.
mean no disrespect. Cause that lady that was talking about him,
Mhm.
you know.
Yeah. And see, this is what I was telling you. This is like why trans issues are so sensitive, and that's why people need to stop saying things like they don't know they're trans, you know, or they just want to be a woman or they just want to be a man. You don't know psychologically what somebody is going through, period.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like being gay, lesbian, bisexual, whatever. All them, the what is it called? They've been calling it the LGBTQ or something like that for the LGBT.
Let's
LGBTQ. I said that is it from now on. But all this hate that the community gets, why would someone, especially nowadays, period, choose to do this, choose to be like this? So it's just like you said, just mind your business.
Yeah, everybody mind their
I
business.
posted a meme yesterday or the day before where this 100 and some year old woman from South Carolina said the
Oh yeah, to live long, mind your own
mind
business.
your own damn business. That's all you got to do. Quit being in everybody's business. It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter if it's somebody's marriage. You know, you can have your opinions, whatever, like that, but don't get so involved to the point that where you are just losing just all your senses and everything like that, and you just don't even know how to react and how to live anymore
Mm-hmm.
because of what somebody else is doing with their life.
Child, let them live.
Let them live, but at the end of the day, Alonzo don't need no hormones, and he's not going to take any.
And
So
y'all
there,
mad.
and y'all mad. That's
So
basically
just
what it
eat.
is. So anyway, there's
Woo.
that.
Well, that was a great show.
Yes.
I hope everyone has an amazing week. Hey guys, be sure to stop by the Pink. Oh, you see how I just lost my train of thought? Cause
The
see, I
pink
was playing
box.
too much.
Right,
Be
right,
sure to
right.
stop by the Pink Box tkb.com
Yes.
and pick up your earrings. Everything's 20% off. So
Yes. Get
I
you
did 20% off on our Juneteenth, but I didn't want to like Juneteenth it up and put all the colors.
right.
That's
You ain't
being
gotta
too
do all
ghetto.
that. Yeah.
You ain't gotta do that.
Yeah, and you
But
can
yeah.
I haven't done it yet, but I'm going to have a link to the pink box on my website and on my link tree as well. So,
Oh yes, and join us over at
y-
Instagram at the Pink Box
yes.
TKB. And don't forget to check us out at Wellness and Women and girl underscore you know what and at DannieBSpeaks.
Yes.
And we hope that you all have a pleasant week. Try to do something nice for somebody else and stop thinking about yourself all the time. All
Right.
this self care got y'all real selfish, and you need to cut it out.
That's
Be
a
nice to
word.
people.
That's a word.
Be nice to people.
Yeah.
And we will talk to you next week.
All right. Bye everybody.
Bye, everybody.